going into your office. We are asking, where is the lady?
Action that you're taking. I quite agree with it. I want you to go so long you must go back to the country. But don't do it the way you do. You're not going to enter my
We are not going to enter without your permission. That's why we're asking from
Then
you.
you ask, where is the lady in or not? That's what you're asking.
What do you want to go into the office for?
We don't want to go. We've got a video as well that is going to be issued on the TV. That's why we brought them, because we don't want to seem as if we're trespassing.
I'm within my rights to what the lady.
We are not going into your office. We're standing here asking you, where is the foreigner that is running a business in your apartment?
There's my office. Yes.
You don't know anything about the foreigner that is in your apartment. You don't know it.
It's not my job to point out.
No, I'm asking. Don't you know a foreigner that is in your office? Are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me that you don't know foreigners that are in your apartment? You are not involved, yes, and we're not saying you must come and be involved. But we are telling you that this is now after 1994 that you must know. We are demanding our land back from Buddhists like you. Take a video of me. We are demanding our land from people like you who are busy hiding foreigners in your apartments. We are doing that, and this is not just a joke. We are fighting for our kids. Your kids doesn't eat drugs. Your kids are not involved in drugs. Why are you so selfish as old as you are? You said that you like what we are doing at first, but now we are asking you about the foreigners that are inside your apartment, and you are telling us that you are not going to answer us. We are going to demand that you remove foreigners in your apartment, and maybe if you want someone to rent, we can bring them.
They say when people are searching for someone to blame, they often attack the person they can see instead of the problem they cannot solve. Throughout history, economic hardship and social frustration have sometimes created tensions between communities, especially when migration becomes linked to fears about jobs, housing, and opportunities. In South Africa, a new wave of anti-immigrant activism is generating concern after videos emerged showing a group confronting foreign nationals and landlords, demanding that migrants leave residential buildings regardless of whether they are legally living in the country. One of the videos that has attracted attention shows members of the group confronting a white landlord and demanding that he hand over a foreign tenant living in his apartment building. The landlord reportedly refused to cooperate, insisting that the tenant had the right to remain and that private individuals could not decide who should be removed from a property. The confrontation has reignited a major debate in South Africa about xenophobia, Afrophobia, immigration enforcement, and the role of citizens in addressing migration challenges. The group behind these actions has reportedly been moving through residential areas, targeting apartment buildings and demanding that landlords remove foreign nationals. Their argument is that South Africans are facing severe economic pressure and that foreign nationals are contributing to problems such as unemployment, housing shortages, and limited opportunities. However, the controversy comes from the fact that the group appears to be targeting people based on nationality rather than legal status. Critics argue that demanding the removal of people who have valid permits, residency documents, or citizenship raises serious concerns about discrimination and the rule of law. South Africa's immigration laws give government institutions, not private organizations, the authority to determine who can legally stay in the country. A private organization or protest movement does not have the legal power to inspect documents, remove tenants, or force landlords to cancel rental agreements. This is why the confrontation with the landlord has attracted attention. The landlord's refusal represents a wider argument that property owners should follow legal procedures rather than surrender to pressure from groups acting outside government authority. Supporters of this position argue that a person's nationality should not determine whether they have access to housing if they are legally allowed to live in the country. The emergence of these confrontations comes amid frustration over South Africa's economic challenges. The country continues to face high unemployment, particularly among young people. Many communities struggle with poverty, inequality, and limited economic opportunities. For some residents, foreign nationals have become symbols of these frustrations because migrants are visible in local communities, operating businesses, renting properties, and participating in the economy. But analysts argue that blaming migrants does not address the deeper causes of South Africa's economic problems. They point to issues such as slow economic growth, weak job creation, education challenges, and unequal access to opportunities. They argue that migration may influence certain sectors, but it is not the primary reason for unemployment or economic hardship. The debate is particularly sensitive because South Africa has a long history of migration from across Africa. People from countries such as Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Ethiopia, Somalia, Nigeria, and others have moved to South Africa seeking work, safety, education, and business opportunities. Many have established businesses, created jobs, and contributed to local economies. At the same time, some South Africans argue that the government has failed to properly manage migration and protect economic opportunities for citizens. They believe immigration enforcement has been weak and that local communities have been left to deal with the consequences. This frustration has created space for groups that promise to take action themselves. However, human rights organizations warn that allowing citizens to enforce immigration rules independently can create dangerous situations. They argue that history shows how quickly frustration can turn into intimidation, harassment, and violence when groups begin to siding who belongs and who does not. The South African government has repeatedly warned against vigilantism. President Cyril Ramaphosa's administration has stated that immigration matters must be handled through official institutions and legal processes. Government officials have argued that people who are undocumented should be processed according to the law, while legal residents and citizens must have their rights protected. This distinction is important because not every foreign national in South Africa is undocumented. Many migrants have legal permits, permanent residency, or citizenship. The idea that every foreign-born person should leave ignores the reality that many have built lives in South Africa over many years. The confrontation also raises questions about the rights of property owners. Landlords have legal responsibilities and rights under South African law. They cannot simply remove tenants because of public pressure or because a group demands it. Evictions must follow legal procedures, including court processes where necessary. This is why critics say these actions threaten not only migrants but also the wider legal system. If groups can pressure landlords to remove tenants outside legal channels, it creates uncertainty for everyone, including South African citizens. Businesses, landlords, and communities depend on predictable laws to function. The situation has also attracted broader African attention because South Africa is one of the continent's most influential economies. Many African leaders and organizations have criticized attacks against migrants, arguing that African countries should address migration challenges through cooperation rather than hostility. They argue that many Africans face similar economic struggles and that attacking fellow Africans does not solve those problems. However, supporters of stricter migration policies argue that governments must first protect the interests of their citizens. They say South Africa needs stronger border management, better enforcement of immigration laws, and policies that help local entrepreneurs compete. The challenge is finding a balance between national interests and human rights.
A country has the right to manage migration, but it also has a responsibility to respect the rights of people living within its borders. The latest confrontations show that migration remains one of South Africa's most emotionally charged issues. Behind the arguments are real concerns about unemployment, poverty. The future will depend on whether it can address economic frustration without creating divisions between communities. Because removing a foreign tenant from an apartment building will not automatically improve the economy. Forcing a migrant-owned business to close will not automatically improve the economy. The real solution lies in creating more opportunities, strengthening institutions, and ensuring that laws apply equally to everyone. At the center of this debate is a simple question. Can a country protect the interests of its citizens while still respecting the rights of those who legally live and contribute to society? How South Africa answers that question will shape not only its immigration debate, but also its identity as a nation.